Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Key Largo, from the Tiki Hut, the Casa Con Tiki Hut of the Tyler and Jenna, Kelley in Key Largo. And I'm here with Roxie. I brought Roxie over for a Hoagie.
Yep.
She's very quiet. She's not barking.
No, she's a good girl.
Yeah,
she's a tiny little
Hoagie's
puppy.
not a barker either.
Well, he can be. He's beagle and hound, so he gets a little barky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
she's afraid of the cone. I think.
Yeah. He had ear surgery, so he's
Otherwise,
got a big
she'd
cone.
be sniffing, letting.
Right now, he looks like a fuzzy walking martini.
A reverse-looking RKO dog, where the dog's looking in the Victrola.
Right.
This one has its head in the Victrola.
In it.
Yeah.
Except for I did see the one where the guy had, his dog had a cone, and he put like a big fake stick with an olive in it, so it looked like a martini. The poor dog.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. We should have taken you to martini night, Hoagie. He just doesn't care right now.
That looks like they could pick up more. It makes it even worse for him because they already have acute hearing.
Right.
Yeah, and then you're just a directional mic you're putting on their head.
In this case, it's probably good that his ear is completely covered because that's why he has the cone.
Yeah.
The surgery. So maybe it's just normal sounds right now.
How much longer?
I don't know. He's had that on for a little over a couple of weeks now, and and you'd think that, his spatial relation would adjust.
Yeah.
If you have something on your head for 2 weeks, you would think you would stop bumping into things. But he still just doesn't get it. So he just keeps running into everything.
I don't know. I think I'd do that for a little while if I had a big cone around my head. So recently, one of the Keys news, we'll get into that. I don't have a lot of in-depth knowledge of it, but once again, we did mention in previous episodes, if you want to get arrested, if you have an outstanding warrant, if you have any difficulties in another state, the best way to be caught is to try to get on property at Ocean Reef as a contractor, a contract employee, because once again, someone who has murder charges, or I don't know if they were convicted or accused of murder in Mexico, but they were caught trying to get into Ocean Reef, not sneaking into Ocean Reef, doing work.
Right.
And I guess people, unbeknownst, if they know what we know, I would just do a search. And I think they had both of these, the other one that we're going to talk about, they were both on Interpol, the International Police Organization, that lists all outstanding warrants.
Both of
and
them.
the other one was in the Lower Keys, squatting in the house,
but Big Pine
Key, from Romania, and he's a big time human trafficker, not just a regular. I think it was a big time human trafficker, and so the Keys. Once again, people come to the Keys sometimes to escape and be anonymous, but it doesn't seem to work out that way. No. If you have outstanding warrants, it seems like if you go and look at it, there's outstanding warrants, out-of-state warrant.
Right. This is not the place to come and hide.
This is not the place to come and hide.
Small town.
Homestead may be a good place, or Florida City, but the one lane, you're driving down the road, you get stopped, and they check in everyone's ID.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's some interesting names people use. I know people say in a tent, residents in a tent. They write it down.
Oh,
and sometimes they have people, whoever transcribes it for Monroe County, they just put it right directly in that.
In a tent.
Instead of saying streets of Key West or streets of Key Largo.
Right.
Which no one really lives in the streets of Key Largo. They're in the mangroves and shit like that. You wouldn't fucking last.
In a tent.
You wouldn't last a couple while. And unfortunately, just a week and a half ago, a 70-year-old man trying to cross the road coming from the fish house got hit on Route 1.
Just right. I mean, a block away from your restaurant.
Yep, it happens. Well, for the size of our community, it's a shame. But then again, we do have the murders committed down here. Relatively few.
That's very few, yes.
But the murderers down here, relatively high.
It's just crazy that either.
If you're in witness protection, why the fuck? Why? You always think about people coming down, they're going down in Keys and trying to. There's no way. You can live on a boat, a sailboat. To be anonymous down here, there's
one
60
way in
to
and
70,000.
one way out.
What's it?
Where are you going to go hide?
Yeah, I think it's anywhere from the high 60s to 80,000 people total year-round residents in the Keys. Right? Are you checking?
I didn't.
No, it doesn't really matter. It's something in that case. And relatively, that's Homestead and Florida City about combined. If you put those in, that's the same amount of people.
Yeah.
But that's in 125 miles. And Ocean Reef, if you go into Ocean Reef, everyone gets checked going into Ocean Reef. And anybody gets stopped on Route 1, the main highway. You have to pretty much to go more than a mile. Yeah, well, unless you're on the old highway, but then they police that down in Isla Morada.
Highway is still only a couple miles long.
Yeah, I mean, in order to go any place, you have to get on the highway.
US 1.
There's other places in Miami. What? Where you?
She's talking to me.
She is talking.
Yep.
She's a charmer. They were talking about Roxie.
Roxy's giving me cute puppy eyes. She's got cute ears too. I was distracted.
Yeah.
I was like squirrel, but no, puppy.
No, every yeah, you're right. Anytime there's a child abduction, we get what's that? An Amber Alert.
Yes.
Or Silver Alert. You can see
that's an
older person taking off heading south. Yes, but why the fuck, if you're running off with a kid, would you head down to the Keys?
You would think
there was a person that hijacked someone up in Florida City, and they ended up going south one time. And that's when it first came down here around 13 years ago. It was a sad story. There was someone in the back sleeping, and they ended up getting in a collision and dying. But enough for the sad stories. We're in the tropics. If you are a fugitive,
stay out of Monroe.
No, you can't. I mean, if you want to see the Keys, you got to see the Keys. Come to the Keys. Now, if you don't want to be caught,
then
go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. You got to go to
a big city or something.
Well, yeah, and I guess pretty soon with facial recognition software and stuff like that, even the big cities will be.
Alexa's listening to everybody.
Well, not that's that. The facial recognition, they'll get that.
It's still crazy how many people think they can come down here and hide.
I'm not really afraid of Alexa listening to anything I have to say. Eventually, if the government does turn to where they want to get malicious and they want to get you, then I'm pretty much fucked. I'm fucked. But then again, my feelings are not hidden anyway. I broadcast them to literally tens and tens of people out there.
Yeah,
I say tens, but actually our numbers are going up, and we're supposed to have a meeting on Thursday about the numbers. I can't open up my statistics that they give me on
the shit-tistics. Is that what you said?
Statistics.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like shit. I mentioned earlier. It's the remnants of my speech impediment. People once before I could say, "Well, I had too many drinks beforehand."
Now it's just
no. It's just my shitty speech impediment.
I know we're just recording today, and this is not going out today, but
we could do a live one if we can go through.
Happy birthday, FG.
Well, why don't you hold that one and we'll just do a live one?
Okay.
We'll do a live one for her.
We'll do a live
right. We'll just burn through this one, do a 2-second break, which they don't know. We could go away for like 5 hours. You don't have any idea what we're doing here. So we're talking about fugitives and stuff like that. We're going to hide. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's a nice night, and we're back to the weather that we're known for. 80 degrees, sunny. It was a beautiful day down here. A little windy, maybe not too bad.
Average.
A little rough out there.
This morning it was a little breezy.
Yeah, I heard tell this morning of a story. I was listening to a guy tell a story about how he was going out fishing, and it was a charter trip, and he had everything go wrong on the way out. His live well went out, bait bag broke, all this shit.
Oh.
Everything, except, maybe he didn't have gear problem, but he had to head in, and he lost pretty much all his controls and stuff like that, headed in. But the guy relatively had peace of mind afterwards to talk about it and not really lose his shit, Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people would lose their shit. Right. So how can all these things go wrong? But then again, it's better than one of those things going wrong. At least you have... No, you take care of all that shit.
Right.
And each one of those things could bring each one of the things he mentioned could actually ruin your trip. And
at least it's not one today.
He had it all
2 days from now.
He had it all go wrong.
So just
and he was really
it was a total shit day.
Yeah,
so
he was really philosophical about
keep it all in one day.
Yep. Okay. Well, I have an interesting. I don't know. It's a human interest story. I think it's human interest because it's human nature. It's the way they behave. I'm at the supermarket with Abby, and it was on a Sunday, I think it was, and I ran into another spin instructor. Now, this isn't necessarily about spin. You'll understand. There's a current online. There's the fad right now is Peloton, where you can buy a bike. The bike's $2,000, and there's a subscription to where you pay for live classes, and you get a live feed of classes, or they actually have an app for the phone. So she's teaching a class at another gym down here at Froggy's.
Okay.
And she notices one of her spin students are wearing headphones, and they're doing their own shit. And she, not doing anything. She just, in one of her movements, she goes for 2 minutes and says, I want you to climb for 2 minutes. And she gets off the bike, walks over, looks at the phone, and she's doing her own shit to the Peloton instructor. Now, you have to understand this from it. I'll give you all the comparisons how this makes this person an obnoxious, selfish asshole. Okay?
Okay.
First of all, you go to a spin class, everyone's doing the same thing. That's why it's called group exercise. Okay? And what it's similar to is, let's say you go to Hamilton, and I'm taking Sky to Hamilton in 2 weeks, and you bring an iPod and you watch Rent on there. Another musical.
Right.
It's similar to doing that. It's going to lunch with someone and staying on the and texting someone else the whole time while you're at lunch.
Right.
It's similar to having sex with someone, having VR goggles on, and pretend you're having sex with someone else. It's really obnoxious to do that stuff. It's you say, well, they're coming into class, they're paying for the class. It's not. It's disrespectful.
Right.
It's like they're just using the equipment because they don't have the equipment, so they come in there.
But why wouldn't you just have a regular gym membership and just get
Well,
on
they
a
were
bike
visiting.
and do your own
They
thing?
were visiting. And the bike that the bikes they use are only available in spin classes.
Gotcha.
Now, maybe we should put like spin bikes in there and stuff like that. But that is just, and this instructor went up and she said something to him, and the person's like, they don't But the thing that really bothered me is the person pretended like they didn't understand. What's the big deal? It's like you fucking people are so into their own shit that they don't just anything. It's just like in a movie theater when you're talking during the movie.
Right.
Just fucking yakking away, beep bopping, staying to have a conversation, and there's some important stuff, and you're right next to someone and say, "Hey, could you please, take it outside?" No, we're here to watch a movie. Well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
They kind of gauge it with something like that. You got to bring the whole audience into it,
Right.
Or just have to bring someone in from there. Almost anything. It's super obnoxious. It's I'm trying to compare it to your thing. When someone's super obnoxious, when they're going in there and you're showing them, you're talking to them, and they're about a loan package you're developing for them, right? And they're doing something else, or you're instructing someone on use on a boat, giving instruction, and they're doing something else.
Yeah.
It's
disrespectful. Like, what happens with me is that people will decide that once they're in my office, they want to call and get insurance. Do it when you're done. I don't care. Like, why are you in my office taking up my time and then complaining that there's not enough signal, and then you want my Wi-Fi password, you want everything, and there's 4 or 5 other people waiting to get in my office for their turn. Why didn't they do that before they got in there, or why don't they take care of it after? But then now I'm sitting there waiting while they're on hold. Waiting, staring at them, like, come on, let's go. Let's get this. Well, I'm going to find out what my insurance is going to be before I sign this paperwork. Why wouldn't you have done that ahead of time?
Yeah, both time we bought our new vehicles, we had insurance before we walked in there.
Or if you think about, and this one is a little bit forgivable because a lot of people don't realize, but if you have a daily limit on your card, right? And then, now, mind you, when they're having a conversation with the salesperson about their method of payment, how are you going to make your down payment? What are you going to do? Are you going to bring us a check? Are you going to bring us cash? What are you going to do? Yeah, no, I'll bring you cash. Well, people think that using their debit card is the same thing as cash. Well, if you have a $2,500 daily limit and you have to call your bank and have them lift that daily limit, I'm going to sit in there and stare at you for 40 minutes until you get it done. And that's rude because everybody else is waiting. All of my people are still there and I'm closed. I mean, come on.
That's the one.
Right. So
that's the one. Or the checkout line when someone has, you're standing there, it's very busy, and you have 2 carts full of shit, and all of a sudden you forgot, Ricky's animal crackers. Ricky's got to get his fucking animal crackers. Oh, stop! I got to go back and get the animal crackers. And before you even check, I forgot. No, you know what? Fucking get the animal crackers. Walk your stuff up, get your animal crack, and go up to the service desk up front. Wait 5-6 minutes. Don't hold everyone up 5-6 minutes while you got to go look for the kind of honey for the type of shit Ricky needs to eat.
Or when I just left the vet, just taking Hoagie out, to the car, and he's all wild and crazy, But you've got post-operative animals coming out of there constantly or coming out, and they're stressed out. These animals are stressed out. Why would you walk your dog through the parking lot of the vet at closing time? Why? That's when everybody's picking all their animals up.
Oh, that's stupid shit.
That's rude.
That's a different level.
It was rude of this lady to just walk her dog right through the middle when I'm trying to get my post-operative animal with a cone on his head into the back of my car. And, of course, he didn't want to because there's a dog walking.
Yep.
I'm like, that's rude.
Yep.
Just yeah, but
there's people that bring in their fucking dogs into the restaurant, and they're not service dogs. They're not well behaved. They come in and they start barking. Hoagie barks here because this is Hoagie's property.
Yep.
You take Hoagie out, I imagine he's not the same way.
No, he's not a barker outside.
Roxie's the same way. She'll bark on our property because it's our property.
Yeah, she's protecting her house.
Yeah, but
it's her
here she's just hanging.
Right now. She is curled up on Jenna's lap. She's just chilling with her cute fluffy ears.
Well, it is almost the last thing is like bringing people try to bring food from another restaurant into the restaurant. Say, listen, my family they have really rare, but we want to come in. We hear, we just want to hear and listen to the music and stuff like that. We have people that come in and bring their own drinks and sit down and listen to music and stuff. We don't have a cover charge.
Right.
Why the fuck are you bringing your own drinks and stuff like that? Entertain yourself. You know where you can entertain from outside, just like they used to. And if you see in one of those Victorian age things in London where the Lord Mayor's having a party and all the poor people are outside staring in with the cold and with the frosted windows and they're waiting to throw the shit outside. And I'm not saying poor people. These are cheap motherfuckers that don't want to. They says, well, our house is two houses down. We'll just load up with drinks and walk up there with their own fucking cups.
Yeah, you're going into
an establishment and make it like this.
Like a for-profit
Yeah, do you want to
business.
go? Yeah, do you want? I want to. You go to Goodyear Tire and say, listen, can I use your lifts?
Yeah.
I'll put the tires on. No.
I just need to use your lift.
I need to use your lift and all that stuff and use. Yeah, I want to use your. I want to use your equipment for that stuff.
Yeah. Well, did you hear about those people? It was a large family. I think it was like 10 or 12 people that went to go parasail.
Yeah.
And they decided to go into the restaurant next to the parasail place.
Yeah.
Right. To wait for their turn because there were so many of them. You can't put all those people on the boat at the same time. And they proceeded to order pizza while sitting in Sundowners restaurant.
Oh, pizza from another.
Pizza from like Domino's. And the people that worked there had to go up and be like, you can't do that. Take it out, go outside, like go out off the property.
So they moved outside to the outside bar, which was not being used by the restaurant at the time. I mean, there was no bartender. But then they would come in and ask for plates and silverware and drinks.
They wanted plastic forks and knives and whatever. Yep.
Get the fuck out. Right. I'm sorry, GTFU.
So they did. They told them that, and they ended up sitting like on the edge of the dock eating their pizza out of the box.
I mean, GTFO, yeah. Oh, fuck them.
Yeah,
Jesus.
just rude. And they were, I don't remember where they were from.
Well,
I
rudeness is...
No, I mean, just like cultural wise, sometimes, the people have different expectations.
We have people walking down the street and they come in and want some water and stuff like that. I get water. Use the bathroom. stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be nice. You're going to be like,
yeah, but you know what? If you do come in, and you're riding your bike and stuff, put your fucking shirt on outside.
Yeah.
You know, you have your shirt, you're riding down the thing.
Yeah.
Put your shirt on when you come in and you want to use the bathroom and stuff like that. Maybe a little thing. I'm all for on a hot day. Someone's waiting for it, and I go, "You want some ice water? I give you some ice water." It's a good thing to do.
Right.
It's the right thing to do.
But you're walking into an air-conditioned establishment to use the bathroom, and you're probably sweaty and like, put your shirt on so nobody else.
Yeah, put your fucking shirt on.
Yeah.
You don't need that. So, but
that's like the boob
I know
sweat
the
sign.
people.
Do you remember the boob sweat sign that they put up in Key West when it's like 95 degrees, and they're like, okay, so
we won't take any boob or sock money.
Yeah, boob or sock money is not accepted at this store.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
yeah,
Jesus
gross.
Christ,
Right.
Sticking it.
But I mean, it's
that's
almost like
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Going and grabbing McDonald's and showing up to the catch and saying, "Oh no, I just want to listen to the Key Billies while I eat my McDonald's."
I do have someone that used to bring me McDonald's like cheeseburger. Do you eat them? I said, I'll eat them, but don't bring me. Don't bring. It's nice that he does. It's nice that he's on. I hope he doesn't get pissed off. It's nice that he does bring the stuff.
But you'd have to hide that.
Yeah, I know.
That
I put it
doesn't
out.
look very...
It is the best way to, one of those is if you got to eat real quick and you're not supposed to eat. They don't want to see me behind a bar, but then again, I can't really leave the bar. So
yeah.
Right.
So when I'm busy,
it's like
people say, take your time. I say, it's not like working on the floor where you got 3 people sometimes. You're the only person there, and sometimes there's nobody there.
Yeah, sometimes
there's nobody in the restaurant, and you just got to hold it in. There's someplace else. People, I don't know. I guess I've been to places where I went to a bar and there was no one at the bar for a while, and they go, "How the fuck does that even happen?" It's like having nobody in a toll booth. That the only person in a toll booth. How does that happen? That you're not there. Like I would hold it in for hours when, do my stuff. And I didn't have to do that for hours, but there's some people that disappear for 10, 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And you go, well, where the fuck is everyone? I don't. Oh, I had to go in. Oh, of course you had something to do.
Yeah.
You're working on the clock, so you had something to do. You do have something to do. You know what you got to do?
You gotta work.
Work. You got to fucking work. You're supposed to be.
I get it when our local little gas station that's just right down the street.
Yeah.
There's one
when they're by
person-
themselves.
When they're by themselves and they have to use the bathroom. I'm totally fine with them locking the door and putting a little sign up that says back in 5 minutes, because that's what they do. They got to go back. They got to relieve themselves.
Yeah. They do? I mean, at night, do they stay by themselves? They leave one person on.
They do.
Oh, that's Tom Thumb, right?
Yeah.
Not the. I think
No,
like
not
Circle.
the Circle K always.
Circle K always has 2 people.
Yeah, but they're also a bigger gas station.
Yeah. That sucks for them. When they're by themselves.
Yeah, they're there by themselves. So of
late
course
at
they're going
night.
to lock the doors and make sure that they can go in the back safely, and But it doesn't take long to go pee. Give somebody 5 minutes.
Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back, finish up the show.
We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Whether you're one of our regular visitors to the Florida Keys or you can't wait to visit for the first time, you'll want to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the Florida Keys. To learn all the secrets, tips, and the stuff we don't talk about to anyone but each other, visit 43keys.com. Sign up for our newsletter and never miss any of the exciting things we have planned for you. That's 43 Keys, the number 4, the number 3, keys.com.
Hey, we're back. We just ran. Oh my God. It was a whirlwind time off we had.
It really was. I mean, that was we did a spin class.
Yep.
We listened to
I ran,
Peloton during
I
the
took
spin class.
Roxie for a walk. Ate and ate a pizza. Ate a pizza at a restaurant. That didn't serve the pizza. I wonder what the bringing food into certain places like a church, like during a service.
The only time
I've seen people with kids and they feed it, no big deal. You got to give your kids some
animal crackers,
fish,
or some Cheerios,
whatever that. What's that? Pepperidge Farm,
goldfish, just
goldfish,
to keep them
Cheerios.
Quiet. Right, but if you're keeping a toddler quiet during service,
you're not going to bring a Big Mac.
How about a big chubby
yeah.
guy and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you bring a Big Mac or some.
There's
chicken
some,
fingers and
there's
give
some
them
lady
here.
in the front row crying, eating ice cream. You know?
Yeah,
like, what the heck?
They do it in movie theaters now. They get served drinks and food.
That's kind of cool that they have those like dinner theaters, you know, where you can go in and you can order your food and everything, and you can sit there and have your meal, watch the movie the whole time.
I know. I wonder, but I mean, how do they serve?
full-
How do they serve it without interrupting, getting in front of you?
I think they take your order before the movie starts.
Yeah.
No, but they still got to serve it, right?
Yeah, they bring it out and they
Yeah, but
Fucking
they're-
something could be happening right
or
there.
they'll be like, you know, they come over and they're like, "Would you like another?" Yes, I'd like another. You know, but they may
Handing
also
food up.
have. You know, what I was thinking is they may have the iPad service because like Buffalo Wild Wings does that, and that's really cool.
What?
Yeah.
Where they bring you like an iPad to your table and you can just order what you want and they just bring it out.
No, but I mean,
You know.
actually handing out the food.
Well,
Right,
I
yeah.
think those
Interrupt.
theaters, there's several different ones. Some have like kind of chaise lounge. So you sit there and they're all in one row periodically. So when they come down, there's like one table on the aisle that they probably just put the food down and walk away.
No, but I mean, the person behind you.
No, yeah, you're not
You
blocking
can't see
anybody.
like
No.
that the server's not standing.
No.
I don't know.
I get shit all the time at the bar when I'm behind the bar because they got the main TV.
Because you're blocking.
I'm blocking the TV. You're fucking thing. Fuck you. This is where I work. It happens to be right in the center where the TV
You want to get
is.
served?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
hush.
like this. I go,
sit
and that's the
somewhere
last
else,
person.
you know.
They go like this. I have someone go like that. Who's a regular. He's not down here anymore. But he used to do this all the time. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm just going to freeze you out for like a half hour.
Yeah, I'd be like, bye.
Get pissed off.
Yeah, you're in timeout. Go
Sit
sit
on
in
the
the corner.
side.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Choose your spot wisely.
Sit on the
then,
side if
that's
you need to watch that. And hey, what are you playing tonight? Are you playing? It's always someone came in. Tiki Tom. Fucking Tiki Tom. I'm going to talk about him twice
Nah.
today. See, I told you I wasn't going to be here.
Right. Well, he's
He shows up when it's 10 o'clock. That's why I call him 10 o'clock Tommy. Comes walking in right before you close. That's what he does. So he's in one night. He says something. I'll tell you what he said. But first, let me tell you what he did. After he said it, I wrote it down. And then he walks over. He's going to the bathroom and he writes in my fucking book. So I don't even really understand what he wrote. Let me see. What the fuck did he write? But I mean, I told Tommy this. I said, listen, if you get an idea, write it down. And I said, if you write something down, you better make it good because I'm gonna rip on you if you don't. And what the fuck? I'm sorry. Sorry for the cursing, Roxie. She doesn't like that. 10 o'clock Tommy. Tiki. You write anything at all? T-I-K. T-I-R. Oh, wait. No matter what. It's always a good day. I'm good about everyone. Fuck, man. I don't know what he wrote. So, yeah, whatever he wrote, it was stupid. Doors? Wait, doze. Doze in. Doze in? Doze in. D-O-O-S-N. Thing. Doze? Doze in? D-O-S-S.
Oh, you're dropping things.
That's all right. D-O-S-S. D-O-O-S. That's what he wrote. So, Tommy, did we show a picture of him yet?
I don't think we have.
Okay. He looks like he could be mentally disabled or something. Right where my thumb is right there.
Okay.
D-O-O-S. Doesn't even make any sense.
No.
And then I wasn't super pissed. I was just a little pissed. I'd say, if you're going to do something like that, now I'm going to have to talk about the shit that I wrote in there. I was going to think about whether I should do it. So we're talking about somebody who, we were at a Super Bowl party. And I said, that girl's cute. He said, you don't think she's cute? And then how about this girl? And I go, well, what's your criteria? He goes, well, she's got to have nice feet. What? She's got to have nice feet. Yeah, he said that. He said it better really take care of her feet.
Well, I mean, maybe he's got a foot fetish.
That was my first
Maybe
thing.
he's got one of those things where he goes online and looks at feet and he gets distracted and he loses track
No,
of
but he
time, and
says
that's why it
like
shows up
if
in
they're
his
if they're dirty, if the feet are dirty or untrimmed or not taken care of, it just turns him off. And I said, well, Tom, most people don't talk about that. Oh, maybe he's coming right now. Is that him?
I don't think so. I think we're hearing the neighbor ladies that are still out.
Oh, yeah. There was 2 women talking. It sounded like
There's 3.
Vietnamese women. When they're talking together, it sounds like...
There's 3 of them. They all
Yeah.
talk at the same time, so I don't know how they're listening to each other.
So Tommy has a foot thing.
Yeah.
And that's how he judges girls. And
That's really
I mentioned, I talked about
Like my feet.
some other girls, and there's some girls I thought weren't that cute, but he thought was cute.
Because they had nice feet.
They had nice feet.
Yeah.
And other people that he didn't think they were cute. I mean, they could pretty much have toes like Jim Carrey did in Dumb and Dumber.
Oi.
Remember that?
With the
Was
grinder?
it Dumb and Dumber? No, it was.
Oh, wasn't it Dumb and Dumber
Was
with the
it
grinder?
the other? No, was his buddy or him?
I thought it was both of them. One of them had like the clippings and the big, the head trimmers, and then the other one was getting the grinder, and they're like, "Arr,"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was.
I thought it was Dumb and Dumber.
No,
of them.
but I didn't know if it was Bill Pullman or
Or is that's not
Jim-
Bill Pullman.
who is it?
That's not Bill Pullman.
It's the other one.
Yeah, shoot.
Fuck,
Bill
I get
Pullman
those.
passed away, I believe.
You're right. Bill Pullman did pass away. I was thinking about.
Yeah, he was the guy from Twister.
Yeah, not that guy. Well, whatever his name was and stuff like that. His fucking toenails sticking out. That's probably not. That was not a deal breaker for me. I mean, and Tom, they could look like one of those women from 3 Million BC. Something like that. When Fire, what was it called? Starting Fire or something like that. Did you there was a movie Ringo Starr was in?
No.
It was something Fire, not Firestarter.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels.
I had to look it up.
Forget that. Yeah, but they were Neanderthals. I'm sure they had nasty toes and stuff, but I don't think if their feet look good, it bumps them up like 2 points for him. So a 5 is a 7, and a 7 is a 5 if you have nasty feet. So that's Tiki Tom for you. That's all you need to know. And all you know is that if you tell him to be someplace for work, he'll be there. If you're booking him for a job, but it's a social event, he says he's going to be there. You say you start at 6:30, he'll be there at 7:45. Right? And if you say your place closes at 10 o'clock, he comes in walking in at 5:10. And he'll tell you 50 times, I got to get fucking up early in the morning. And he'll still be there 45 minutes later. He'll just stay there the whole time. So we're gonna probably, oh man, this is just too early. I wonder if we should do a short show. We should just do a short show.
We can do a short show.
Why not?
Yeah, we have a bunch in the kitty right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And well, it depends on. I feel kind of reluctant to do a short show sometimes because I always think of the average. I'm thinking people with 45-minute
Like a drive,
commuting time.
like a commute.
Commuting times.
Well,
yeah.
what do we have right now? Can we make it at least 45 minutes?
32. We have 30. It's 32. It's 30, almost 33 minutes.
All right. Well, we're gonna find
okay.
more
Well,
bullshit
today
to talk about at least till 45 minutes so we can get them home.
Yeah, if you're
Right.
driving. Well, I mean, there's all sorts of things people do when they're driving home and stuff like that. If you're in the inner city traffic, if you're like Philadelphia and you're driving home, you're stuck in traffic, and you're moving 10 to 15 miles per hour at best.
Yay.
Same thing in Miami and stuff like that. If you're one of these people in Atlanta or something like that, you just have a long fucking commute because you're probably 60 miles outside the city, but you're traveling at 80 miles an hour. So, and then there's some of those guys that like when they got their nice tinted windows and stuff. Well, they're not listening to it because, halfway through their commute, they're just turning on some Enya music, grabbing some Jergens lotion, and they're starting to rub one out.
Enya? Who jerks off to Enya?
I don't know. I can. But
Did you really? You wouldn't
Enya?
be like
Shakira?
sleeping?
Shakira, maybe.
Shakira, there you go.
Shakira.
Maybe Shakira.
Shakira. Oh, man. Well, that's, supposedly that's a Colombian thing.
Yes,
do.
but the Super Bowl thing was
The
hilarious.
chicken guy?
No,
That's
okay,
not
no,
really
no.
sexy. No,
but-
that tongue thing is something that creepy guys would do to a girl.
The Minnesota State Fair had like the best response to her, thing that went on during the Super Bowl.
What?
And they did like a goat or something right after it that was making the same noise.
Yeah. Did we talk about that last week?
No.
There was no, but what the fuck did you expect? You had J-Lo and Shakira, and people were offended. And they're in Miami and stuff like that.
First of all, that's Miami. Second of all, they're Latinas.
And so, and third of all, have you seen cheerleaders?
Have you ever gone to Miami?
No, but
J-Lo and Shakira were way more covered than half those ladies you see walking around.
I know,
there.
but you check out the NFL cheerleaders and stuff like that, and shit they're doing. It doesn't really matter. Are you kidding? That it's
people's big thing was that
my kids are watching.
Families, then our kids they watch football. But, okay, so
how am I supposed to teach my kid about getting head trauma?
Yeah.
You got these women.
But what about
how am I supposed to treat my kid about controlled aggression?
What about
controlled aggression?
With Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson, and she had her nip slip, and then
there was a meme. That was a good meme.
Yeah, and
there was one of Janet Jackson crying. She goes, "They forgot about my boob popping out," like that movie.
Or how about the
or Adam Levine last year was freaking shirtless, and there was people that were getting all crazy.
Oh, speaking of that, Russell yesterday at the Martini Monday after he came in, some guy come walking in, and I just went on a whole tirade with him. I told him, I said, he pulled up his shirt. He was showing his
tattoos.
No, I don't know if it's tats or he's showing where his pacemaker is or shit like that. And I just said to him, and this guy's not 70 years old, listener. He's just annoying as fuck sometimes. And I just told him, I said, listen, women can't show their nips in public or they get arrested. You're not allowed to show yours. We're not, no double standards here.
Right.
And then I looked over, Melissa was over there, one of my friends, who's very attractive, who's been on the show before. I said, but then again, if you feel the need to show your nipples, I'm not going to turn you in for that. But then I would go like, not you over there, but not you, Russell.
I have a funny story about that.
What?
About the conversation that I had with Russell yesterday, but I'll save it for after the show. Just remind me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was fucking rude to the people. He was so rude to the people that came in. The regulars, they come in after the thing, and I said, and when you were leaving, I just looked down and go, okay, motherfucker, now you can't talk to those people because you were so rude to them. Yeah? Yeah. And I go like this, and I said, and they were laughing because I said, you know what? He goes, why are you so mean to me? I said, because you're mean to everyone. When someone walks out, you weren't there. Were you there when that lady came walking in?
Yeah, when they were counting the chairs and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then
there was other ladies came in. This woman comes in and she looks super fucked up. Blonde woman, big boobs, maybe my age, but definitely a little wear on that tire there.
Yeah.
And turns out her father used to be a politician up in Homestead and stuff like that. She was used to take care of him. He passed away. Now her sister takes care of her. And she wasn't driving. She came in. She's just, that's the way she is. She wasn't necessarily fucked up from drinking. She only had one martini when she came in. And she's talking to Russell. And I almost didn't serve her, but Paige goes, oh, that's so-and-so. And I'm going to say a name. I'll make a name up. That's Delilah. And she's been that way for years. She's not fucked up. And she goes, she has a problem. And said, oh, thanks for fucking that. Now I feel bad about the shit I was thinking. Right? But, I'll go up to her and I say, oh, hon, what do you want? What can I get you? And stuff. And she wanted one drink and all that stuff. And I was being nice to her. And as soon as she left, and she was talking to Russell, being sweet to him and all that. And he leaves. He goes, oh, she's a nightmare. And I go, what the fuck? She was being so nice to you.
Yeah. And then
I go right after that. And I go, when anybody, maybe I'm supposed to, maybe that's a learning lesson. Maybe I'm supposed to be nice no matter what. Maybe that I should do that. But I am not going to encourage that. And he tells the owner, he goes, well, this is the only place I'm still allowed in. Yeah, that's what he said. This is the only place I'm still allowed in.
He was the place that he was kicked out of was CJ's.
I
Is
don't
it?
know.
Say CJ's?
I'm sure Sharkies and
6 months ago, I think, something like that. I was kicked out of CJ 6 months ago. He goes, "But I haven't been back there. You know, it's been 8 months now. I can go back, but I'm not going back there." I was like, "Oh God."
well, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people begging for please come down. We want to see your saggy body. Show it off. Show us your
Show us your man boobs.
everything. Okay, yep, we're at the end.
No.
We'd like to thank
We're at
Jenna
45
and Tyler.
minutes?
No, 40.
Okay,
That's
well,
close.
40. We shorted you 5 minutes,
yeah.
guys.
Yep, and I
And
didn't
maybe
play.
maybe we'll have a 5-minute break.
I played
Okay.
5-minute break. No, we're not going to have a 5-minute break.
we had a break. Maybe they'll make it 5 minutes long and make up for it.
Oh, well, no, they're going to be a commercial. This be a commercial, and it could be like a 2-minute commercial.
Yeah, so
Maybe, someday
back in 2 or
that
2.
40-minute. Oh, yeah, maybe you have to stop and use
use the
bathroom
facilities or
someplace.
Yeah.
Make sure you buy something. Thank
Drive
you,
safe.
folks.
Don't be
everybody.
rude.
Take
Good night,
care.
everyone.
Bye.